Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. She is sponsored by Nishmas Yaakov Shalom Le'Av Sitzchok. We're holding in Sanhedrin Daf Chavov. We're starting Daf Chavov Amud Aleph on top in the two dots. The Gemara says, "Omar Shim Betchila Yukorim Oisav Oisvishvi." So the Gemara Mishnah told us that the people that make business with fruits of Shemitah, they used to be called originally Oisvishvis, and then they changed their names to be Soicher Shvis. Oisvishvi means collectors of Shvis. Soicher Shvis means people who do business with Shvis. What's the difference between the two? So the Gemara explains. My Kilomar. Oividachi Kilomar. Betchila Yoimim Oisvishvis Ksherim Soicherim Sulim. In the beginning they said the collectors of Shvis are kosher, but the ones who do business are possible. Because the ones who are just collecting pair of Shvis, it's fine. You collect your Shvis and to eat it, it's fine, there's no issue. Meshurabu Amtsim Oislanim Ve'azlanim Ve'asilu Umaisu. But once there were the people that they gave money to the poor to trick the system. What did they do? They gave money to the poor, and they told them, go and collect pair of Shvis for me. So it looks like they're not doing business, but really they are doing business. So they said they're both possible. So the Mishnah says, originally they called them Oyster Shvis. They called Oyster Shvis, and they're fine. Then they changed their name, the title, to be Tzorich Shvis and Deros. So what Kosher B'Bnei Achvo, the Lashon of the Mishnah is Mishirobu HaAnosim. Anosim are the people that are the bullies, the threateners, the ones that are forcing something on people. Hi Mishirobu HaAnosim, Mishirobu HaTagorim Ba'ileh. It's nothing to do with being forced. It's when there was more people doing business with Peirush Shvis. Beginning they said both possible. In other words, they said both possible because they felt they're doing it for purpose of business. So if they collected it, they did business with it, all also. But then Anosim came. What is Anosim? I knew. Arnoina means the property tax. The Ranai said, go and plant the Shmito, Mishumar Noina, to pay the taxes. So a person does business with Shmito, you're not allowed. But you're just collecting it to pay the tax of the king, so that is allowed. How is it allowed? What about this of the rights of Shmito? So the Rashi is pointed out over here, either because it's Shmito was Manazed the Rabban, and he holds it this way, now it's only the Rabban, or because it was Sakonas Nefashos. The king would come, and if they wouldn't have the tax to pay, he would kill them. So that's why they allowed to do it. Says the Gemara, Reb Chio bar Zanuki, Reb Shimon ben Yehoitzedek, Havu Kazli la Bershona be'Asya. They went to do Bershona in Asya. Says out of Eretz Yisrael. Tosh already asked, you can't do Bershona if it's not in Eretz Yisrael. Today says they just want to do the Cheshbon. Pagabu Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish sees them. Eat bo badayim. So you walk with them. So we have Reb Chio and Reb Shimon. They're going to do Bershona. And Rish Lakish joins this trip. I want to see what they're doing. As they're going, he sees somebody plowing in the field. So now why is he calling Kohen? Because as we'll see, the Koyanim were Choshon and Shemitah. Says there's a Kohen who's doing plowing in Shemitah? So no, maybe he's doing it. Rashi is being two pshatim. One pshat is he's doing it for tax purposes. He's like he's like almost he's the messenger of the king to take care of the field. But he's not doing it for his own Peirush Shmita. Then he sees a person who's harvesting his vineyard. You have your kohen who's cutting the vineyard. Said, maybe the reason he's taking is not taking to enjoy the fruits. He needs the piece of wood as a beam, what's called ekel beisabad. Ekel beisabad is the piece of wood that you use in order to press the olives. So I'm not doing it for the purpose of eating the fruits business. I'm doing it for these purposes. I need the wood. Akal is the lashon of the beam of the olive presser. Im le'akal kalois. He's using like a loshon of a loshon. It's like a pun. Ekel means the beam. Akal kalois means doing something wrong. The heart knows if he's doing something wrong and doing something right. So, liberation. Which story happened first? The story with the harvesting in the field, or the story? The plowing in the field, the harvesting in the vineyard. Liberation. If he said the first one first, why didn't he say the same answer? He's doing it for the taxes. The first one he said was the vineyard. And then they came to start with the plowing. Plowing, you can't say it for the olive presser. So therefore, there we have because of that you have he said a different answer, which is the taxes. So why did he mention kohen? Kohanim were the ones that are more choshev. Shvius, the Tanya say of trumo. You have one say of Truma that falls into 100 say of Shemitah. And the thing is that usually, if a Truma falls into 100, it's Batal. Truma Batal B'meah. Talent, you pick it up, and you give, and that's the Truma. Pachas Mikan, Yirokvu. Less than that, you let it spoil. V'avina boy, my Yirokvu, why let it spoil? Yamachu lekoyim would make Truma, chutz vidmei oisoseo. Give it to the Kohen and sell it to him with the price of a truma, right? Give it to him. In other words, you'll sell it as peirush shvis that sell for the only for the expenses, and how much will be the expenses? It could be the value of truma, because we don't know. Maybe the truma one fell into less than 100. The whole thing is truma, so you give it to the Kohen. Why don't you give it to the Kohen? Why just let it rot? He says that you see from here that Kohanim they keep the fruits of Shemitah at the time of Biur, and they don't get rid of it. Rashi says, why? They say because they feel the Moret, they said Truma is allowed to us, Kach is allowed to us, Shemitah is also allowed to us. It's not allowed. So therefore, you have to be more careful with Kohanim. That's what they call them a Kohen. In any case, we're going back to the story. Rishlok is following these two bandomer, and they see a person doing it says these guys, well, what about this? Obviously, give him, rebuke him. He said, no, it's fine. He's doing it for the right purpose. Another one, Amru Tiroi Dehuti. This guy is a nudnik. The best translation you have. He's a nudger. So we don't want this nudger with us. So when they got to the place where they do Ibra Shana, Slikulego, they went to the attic. That's where you usually do the Ibra Shana. Shalfuol the Dargo Mituti. They took away the stairs, so he's not going to be able to come and join them. Also the Kamei de Rabbi Yochanan. So then he went to Rabbi Yochanan. Shlokish goes to Rabbi Yochanan. Says these people are protecting the ones that are working in Shemitah. Can they do Ibra Shana? Hold on, I like Kashali. Says, maybe it's not so a problem. We learned that 3 shepherds can be doing Ibra Shana. What were the 3 shepherds? The shepherds, they were schmoozing with each other, and they figured out they have to do Ibra Shana, as we learned earlier. It was too cold for the ox. It was the wind. And the Rabbanan didn't rely on them, but they did their own cheshbon. It's also here, these people that are not really reliable, nobody's going to rely on them only. The same thing. Also, the Rabbanan sat down to do the Hebrew. Here, they're the ones that are relying on. And they're not reliable, because this connection of Rishoyim. As we'll see in a moment, a connection of people that are Rishoyim is not considered to be a connection. You have to have your connection, you have to have your group of Dayanim. You don't have a group. So then we can't rely on them. You have to have a minion. Allah B'Yechanon Do'oko. B'Yechanon says, this is a tzara that you call him Rishon. What do you call him Rishon? So they came, Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Chia Bar Zanuki, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yatzeh, he called us shepherds. He didn't say a thing. In other words, he says, and if you call him Ritzoyim, which maybe could be even worse, and you know in Eretz Yisrael, what should I tell them? In other words, I don't have what to answer. Okay? And he called you this way, and I'm not, I don't know what to tell you. He had some taina against you, and I'm not going to be involved. So to speak, Rabbi Yochanan says, I'm not going to be involved. There's actually an interesting he'or over here. Which is, right, just to mention that the Rishonim say they tried to push them away. And because of this side. Now the tzlach, and I need to read this, we'll mention it today in Shrom Achshon on the daf, in this daf. The tzlach has a very simple question. So I understand. Rish Lakish only went to complain about them after they didn't allow him to join him in the attic. So it seems like when it became personal, that's when he went against them. In the beginning, he told him, why do you give him excuses? No, it's fine. He got to the attic, they kicked the ladder down, so now he's going to complain because it became now personal. So that tzlach, the Rani Flamoid, says, Rish Lakish said, you know what? Maybe these tzaddikim, they're tzaddikim, and they're melamed kavschus. They're melamed kavschus. They're trying to give you know what, this guy did something wrong. I'll tell you why. That's what they always try to do. They always try to see the good in each one. But then when they went up to the attic, says Rish Lakish, they kicked the stairs down. So they didn't see the good by me. They just saw me as a non-Jew. Oh, so they don't see good in every Jew. So don't see every Jew why these Jews did see every good. That was because of Shemitah. So he had a time against them once he saw that they're not consistent. They're not going with limud kaschus by everybody. Okay, says the Gemara. My kesher Rishon. Where do we find this idea that a group of Rishon does not join? Saying one of the following stories. Shavno. Who's Shavno? Shavno, Rashi says there was Mimun al Beisu shel Chizkiyahu melech Yehuda. He was the one in charge on the house of Chizkiyahu ben melech Yehuda. The Rashi in Navi says he was in charge of Beis Hamikdash. But anyway, he was someone who had some responsibility. And the story was that Sanhedrin came to attack Yerushalayim. And we know the big nace happened was that Chizkiyahu went to sleep, they woke up in the morning, and Sanhedrin, all the soldiers were dead. But before that, what happened is like this. Shamna Vadorish Betleisar Ravoso. He had 13 Batim Medrash. 13 Batim Medrash, or 13, according to one of the Gesaros, it's 10,000 times 13. So 130,000 people he gave a shir to. Chizkiyahu Vadorish Bechadasar Ravoso. He dashed in only 11. So Chizkiyahu had less of people. He also Sanhedrin Yerushalayim. But Sanhedrin came and surrounded Yerushalayim. Because of Shamno Pitko. So Shamno sent a letter to Sanhedrin. Shada Begiro, and he sent it in an arrow. Shamno v'siyoso hishlimu, Chizkiyahu v'siyoso lo hishlimu. Says, my group are willing to do peace with you, Sanhedrin. We will surrender. Chizkiyahu wants to fight. Right? Shenema near Rishoim, Yidruchun Keshet. They're going to put an arrow. They're going to put a bow. They're going to prepare the bow. Korenu Chitzam al Yeser. They're going to put the arrow to send to cause death over here. So that's what happened. Halakha Mistaf Chizkiyahu. Chizkiyahu got very scared. Omar Dil Mechaz Shalom Nati Daite Kushabrichu Basarubo. Says Chizkiyahu, these people are the right. They're the majority. They are 13. We're only 11. So maybe Akash Baruch Hu is going to go with them. Once they're going to be given to Sanhedrin, now listen to the Navi, so they'll be given as well. Or Navi V'Amaloi came the Navi Yeshayahu and tells him, Loi Samun Kesher. Don't say connection. Don't say there's a group. Cholashir Maramazeh Kesher. Don't say there's a group. Why? Kloimar Kesher Rishonim. It's a group of Rishonim. The Kesher Rishonim ain't no minyamin. Rishonim don't join together to be a group. So he came to make a burial place for him, and next to David HaMelech, the Kiribis David, because he felt he will become the king and he will become the Melech. But no, what are you doing here? That you're digging a burial place for yourself. And Shmuel will shake you a shake of a male. Kvar is a male. And the Gemara already told us that in Ksubis from Harav, till Tula de Gavri Koshma de Yisisa. When a man is being shaken, it's being moved from place to place, it's worse than a woman. The Gemara in Ksubis taught us this regarding the fact that in order when a man and a woman get divorced, who's the one who has to move out? So the woman should move out because a man is much more difficult to move. And the Ben Yoda here explains it has to do with Gilgul Nishamas. That Gilgul is worse for a man than for a woman. Ve'atech atyo. That's what it says in the Pasuk. Shavno gatzaras. Ktiv ocho vatech oto ktiv oso matzafo miyate. Tzenoif yetznefaich tznafa kedur eretz chazedayim. So what does it mean? So Rashi says they will surround you, the soldiers, kedor, what's kedor? So Rashi learns keshura, like a lion. So kedor means like a door. Toys brings you a few other explanations. One of the explanations is that it's kador l'shem kador. Kador means a ball. Like a ball that's being thrown from one person to another, that's how they're going to throw you as well. Tana Ubikesh Kolon Beis Adon wanted to make embarrassment and disgrace for Chizkiyo. Taking a fuck Kvoidu Lekolon, so he also got disgraced. Kevin Nofik, when he went out, or Yerushalayim, not like you, he went out, he wanted to go with his entire group. Also Gavriel, Achtel Dosha Be'apei, Mashriel say. So then it came Gavriel and closed the door of the wall of Yerushalayim, not allowing anybody else to go out. He went out on his own. When he came out, they asked him, where's your group? They said, I think they changed their mind. They didn't come out with me. So you made fun of us that you're surrendering with the whole group. You're all alone. They made holes in his heels. They tied him up to the tails of the horses. And then they ran with the horse on the thorns. And he suffered a terrible death. He enjoyed things. Rashi says he enjoyed, he indulged in the world. Or Pshat is he did Mishkav Zohar. It says regarding we talk about regarding David HaMelech that she becomes warm, so he had enjoyment. So what he does with this pasuk of Yudim Aviv Chad Omer Yilchizke v'Siyosu Neirosim. If the Shosus, they talk about the tzaddikim and they're the strength of the world, if they get destroyed, tzaddik Apal Mina Kodesh Baruch, what do you do? In other words, people cannot allow that Shavna will be successful. Chad Omer B'Samikdash Yares, if the B'Samikdash gets destroyed, tzaddik Apal, where Akash Baruch, what did he do? It's the opposite. It's not like a losha temo. The thoughts of Shabno are destroyed. Why? If not, Tzaddik Maplo. Right? What did Tzaddik do? It says the third explanation it gets destroyed. So we understand where the word shos is right. Shos is a loshon mash adam shos beliboy. So that has to do with thoughts, or it's even shtiyah. Where do we see things were called shosos? Shmuel has the pillars of the world and he put on them the world. So that's the tzaddikim. He flee Eitzo, he deal to Shio. So Eitzo to Shio refers to the whatever the world is standing on. So that's its thinking. Now the Gemara goes on and says, Omar Chanon, or Chanon. Right, I mean, what is the world standing on? The tzaddikim, the learn Torah. So really referring to Torah. Why is Torah called Tushia? Because the person to be mateshes, right? He loses koyach. He came quietly. Pashas means luchas shniyos be given quietly. Toyu means dibur. It's dibur that the world stands on. Says the Gemara, "Oh my ula machshava." This is a big, very, very important Gemara. Oh my ula machshava mu'eles afil divrei Torah. What is machshava? So Rashi brings you two explanations. One explanation is that when a person is busy with business, it ruins everything that he has, including Torah. So when you have worries of business, so then you can't learn Torah. Because Shmuel takes away the worries, so then you have then they're able to do Tushia. If they're doing Torah Lishma, then it won't ruin it. If you have, you do it l'shem shamayim, itakum. Now Rashi brings a second explanation. The second explanation is a scary explanation. Because Rashi says, Lo shanach, machshava shodo mechashev kach v'kach ese kach v'kach tali biyodi. I'm going to do this and I'll be successful this way. He's not going to be successful. When he plans different things, the machshava won't come out. Even for Torah. Keep going, what's the Torah? But it says, I'm going to be able to learn, I'm going to learn 3 blot a day, and I'm going to finish within this amount. It never works. Except if he does it l'shmo. But every year it doesn't work. So, and I saw one of the Sifri Musa brings, that will be back, let's put a little more Shur Machshav on the daf, just to mention 2 things over here that the Sifri Musa bring, that one of the Balai Musa says, you check out the Botuk Menusa. Whenever a person has a business plan, and he's planning to do something in a certain way, it never works exactly that way. He may be successful, but not the way he thought it would be. And he says the point is to say, you think your thoughts are the one to bring your business? It's not your thoughts. It's like Shmuel giving you the business. You have to do ishtadlus. But you plan to do, I'll do A, and then B will happen, then C will happen. What happens, you do A, then D comes, and E happens. Nothing based on your plan. Sounds like a and the often more deeper, it's brought down in Sifri Chasidis, machshavo, thought, is something which is more in the ear. Machshava is creating the world different koiches. When you have a good machshava, you have bad machshava in the world which fights it. Until it doesn't come l'maiseh. When it comes to l'maiseh, whatever's maiseh is maiseh. But until it doesn't go l'maiseh, there's so many things that can stop it. So that's why machshava in machshava of Torah can be stopped. Okay, says the Gemara, Masai, when we saw a review we mentioned before, if he has another business, it's not a problem. All the psulim, you have to announce and basing. Roy, a shepherd. One says there needs to be an announcement, one says it doesn't have to have an announcement. Doesn't need a chazo, I don't have to do a chazo on his own, he's a puzzle. Meaning, if you need a chaza, means I don't need to check too much. I can always announce that he's, even without checking too much, that he is possible. So, there was this gift that 2 thieves signed it. So, maybe it's okay because there was no chaza. A person does exhale their bottom. But the Raisa, what's the Raisa? Lachtoif, the chatifo, the grabbing for somebody's hands, that's lachtoif, and then you don't need a chazor. Something more after the simin, Omar Abnachman, oichle dovrach, psul late. Someone who's oichel dovrach. What's oichel dovrach? This is the shame, not chazir, because then it's mamish yisu doreso. But we're talking about someone who takes donations from a goy. So psul leidus. So everybody sees it. But sino, if it's sino, it's fine. Even if is not a problem, only elo If he's able to get the food quietly, so don't take money from a guy in France to make it a big announcement. The Karavaz it does bizoyos before Hesio. That's the only way for him to support himself, is to get this money before Hesio, so that's his livelihood, and it's okay. Someone who's chosher with arayas, it's kosher leidus. Just only marry our boy Mekitya v'kosher, right? He gets malchus is kosher. Now today it says over here, why should it be kosher? It's like someone who's doing any other. We'll see next daf, Be'ez Hashem, that a person who oichel neves latov when he's plus leidus. So he says we talk about a chashut with no eating. There's no witnesses. So why does it say get malchus? Because you give malchus for suspicion. He cannot testify about a woman, because if he testifies about a woman, let's say he wants to testify about a woman that she's divorced, so that means because he is chashuv l'arayis, he maybe wants this woman. It's only if you want to testify that she's divorced, to remove from her husband. To testify about kiddushin, so pshito. Of course, what do you mean? If he's testifying that she's married, he's taking it away from herself. How the tema do you feel? Maybe no, he wants her to be married. Why? We learned it also in sometimes you think that he wants her to be married because it's more enjoyable to do znus with a woman who's married. He prefers her to be more available, not to be married. That's what we trust him for Kedushin. Someone who steals in Nisan and Tishu, which is the time of the harvest, is not a ganav. What does it mean? So it says in Mohani Milibari, we should talk about a sharecropper, and something small, or something that the melach is finished. What does it mean? He's a Mayra. He doesn't feel he's stealing. He's anyway working in the field. And he's supposed to take his shear. He takes a little bit more because he feels, you know what, maybe I'm considered to be a poyel. As we learned about Mitzvah, a poyel, while he's working, he can eat. So if he's giving a hand to himself, but he's not doing it berishus. Same way, Korvi there has read, Korvi, Rashi explains over here, is someone who works the field, but he's not a sharecropper. He doesn't get any piece of the land. So Chad, Gonav, Kavasar, one took a kav of barley, upasli, meaning puzzle. Chad, Gonav, Kibur De'aini, upasli. One took, Kibur De'aini was a cluster of dates, and he made puzzle. Why? Because there's no money after. That's Mamash Gaza. Says the Gemara, no kavuroi, these people that work in the Chevra Kadisha, they bury the mace. The korban now should be Yotu Rishi Shatzeres. They buried in Yotu Rishi Shatzeres. Shamtinu Rapapa Pasul Leidus. So Rapapa made them Pasul Leidus. Why? Because they did it in Yisra. They buried in Yotu. V'achshirinu Ravunu Bredi Yeshua. The Bredi Yeshua made them kosher. Only Rapapa V'avishayinu. That's rishus. They're doing Yom Tov. So it was Savi Mitzvah Kavde. They thought we're doing a mitzvah to be having a mix. So they go back to Shabtin and Lu. So what do you mean? We're putting in Chayrim. They know that we're not happy with what they're doing. So it was Savre Kapora Ka'avdel Rabban. You know what they're thinking? They think like this. We are doing something with big mitzvah, but we're still doing it in Yom Tov. So we need to get a kapara for that. So for that, Rabban, what is the Chayrim just to have kapara? Where do we find a similar thing? Just mention the Gabi Asar B'Tevis. Tainis Chaloy. Person, when he has a bad dream, he needs to fast. If he has a bad dream on Shabbos, he has to fast on Shabbos. But then he needs to fast during the week for the fact that he fasts on Shabbos. So what does it mean? It's almost like saying, you have a big affair and a small affair. Like he needs to fast. If not, the dream can be terrible. But that's not 100% okay, so at least you have to rectify that as well. You fast during the week. So here they felt, bearing a mace is such an unbelievable big mitzvah. But doing a Yom Tov is improper. So Rabban put us a chayim to fix that. But now they felt they did something okay, and that's why they're not pasul leidus. Okay, we'll stop over here. In the next daf, the daf goes on more in detail regarding who we will replace in leidus. Kol tov.